another week has come, and we start this show with a moment of silence. Thank you. And if you don't know what the moment of silence was for, turn off the damn TV and pick up a history book. That's right. Today's the anniversary of the attack on the Twin Towers in New York, 2001. I remember where I was. I bet you do too. On September 12th of 2001, we were America. Nothing mattered except this country. Color didn't matter. Age didn't matter. Where you were on the financial ladder didn't matter. We came together as Americans. As Americans. I know I should be at that camera, right? But no. It was a sad day, and I saw it coming. Not necessarily the Twin Towers, but terrorism in general. A lot of people say, you know, oh, we're taken by surprise. The fact is that when I was in high school in the 70s, terrorists were operating around the globe, everywhere, except America. We had no terrorists stuff going on in America. But Ireland, Germany, remember in Germany they were bombing discotheques. We can't really blame them there, but they were bombing discotheques. They were bombing soft targets in Germany in the 70s. So why were we so surprised when it came to America? I don't know. So a little bit later on in the show, we're going to have another musical piece by Hallow Creek. I know a lot of you liked the last one. What else has been going on in my life? I've been working like a dog, I've got to tell you. Spent the weekend working with still photos, doing some custom work for the guys in the band down there in Pennsylvania, Hallow Creek. And again, not for money, because it's what I like to do. Again, professional photographers hate me because I actually love what I do and I'll do it for free. The thing about doing stuff for free is no expectations. So, you know, I go out and shoot something for free, give people great work, and they think I'm a god, you know. Let's go over here. I'll think about something to talk about. Did I make it? I made it. I never know if the switch is going to take. Sometimes if you keep your finger there too long, it'll jump back to the other show. Let me see. Where should we start? Let's start with something worthless, like the NFL. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a huge football fan before all this crap started. But I've been doing some thinking on this subject ever since last week. And of course, Nike came out with Kaepernick, you know. Kaepernick is a media whore. He can't play football, but he wants to stay relevant. Plain and simple. It's about the money. You didn't see him during the entire offseason, leading up a rally against cops. You didn't see him standing in any picket lines. You didn't see him at any protests. He wasn't making, he wasn't spending some of his millions of dollars on even a small TV spot against police violence. He was doing none of that during the off season. Oh, by the way, his parents are white. Anything to say now? He's a white guy with an afro. Again, I thought that was cultural appropriation. Isn't the guy a hero or a douchebag? What is he? Well, we know he's not a football player. Here's another thing I thought of. In the game of football, I know enough about the game of football and the rules of football. In the game of football, when the quarterback takes a knee, what does that signify? That signifies surrender. Here we go. In a lot of cultures around the world, kneeling is seen as a sign of submission. Kneel before no man. Stand for what you believe in. And you've got to speak loud, and you've got to speak constantly. You don't only speak out against an issue between October and January and then take the rest of the year off. That does no good. Again, stand for what you believe or kneel in submission. Yeah, I said it. A lot of people go, wow, I can't believe he just said that. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to fight for something, fight for something. You know? Has Kaepernick given any financial help to victims of police brutality? Probably not. And again, he hasn't picketed any police departments. He hasn't done anything except draw attention to himself while he was on a football field, because that was the only way he was going to get noticed. At this point, quarterbacks will do anything to get their name in the paper, because the only quarterback that gets his name in any papers is Tom Brady. Funny how that works, huh? If you're a great football player, you're noticed. If you're a mediocre to poor football player, you have to do something to get the media to notice you. I know, I was a serviceman. I was in the Navy. I defended the Constitution, which gives him the right to kneel in protest. That's one of our rights as American citizens, is to protest. There we go. But if you are employed And again, football never used to be politicized. Why politicize a sport? You know? Pretty soon that crap is going to dribble right down into our Little League games. You know? Some little kid going to be out there on the field and go, oh, we're going to play the national anthem. I'm going to kneel during this. You know? They're friggin' games, people. These people make millions of dollars to play a friggin' game that we used to play for fun as kids. You know, we dreamed of being that guy. You know, you dream, man, if I could play football every day and they'd give me $1 million to do it, that would be beautiful. The fact is, one in 1,000 kids end up in the NFL making big money. I don't know. You've got to take your job serious. No matter what job you have to take your job serious, and your job should come first. It is, after all, your livelihood. And it's funny because this is going to roll right into the whole issue that we need to work. It's not a choice of, you know, do you want to go to work or don't you want to go to work? It's you have to go to work in order to pay your bills and a lot of times your paycheck barely covers your bills. So you're working just to survive. And in my mind, that's slavery. But we don't talk about it because it's not just slavery against one single race. It's slavery against everybody. We are slaves to the economy. And it's because people won't do things for free. Everything has to be about money. Because that's the way we're programmed to think. Is that success and power and money are the most important things. And you will work till you die to try and have something. You can stop working. You're not gonna get whipped. You know, you can run away from your work. They're not gonna cut your feet off. But if you stop working, they'll take your house away, your car will be gone, you won't have money for food, you'll be scrounging out of garbage cans and sleeping on the streets. So you work or you don't work. You have to work if you want anything in life. It's crazy, dumb stuff. So, you know, when this era of greed, you know, that's what it is. And we're not helping ourselves. We're helping the fat cats. We're helping the corporations that are slowly buying up mom and pop stores, you know, buying up everything. you know, if you've got a small electronics company, guess what? Eventually you're going to be owned by a huge electronics company. Well, you won't be owned by, but you won't have any business because they're going to take all your business. They'll buy you out. We're going through the stuff with cable companies. Slowly but surely, every industry is working towards a monopoly. Because the fat cat's at the top. So, let's spin back over to this other camera. And we're going to take a little break from the rant. I've got another one up here that we'll get to, but I want to get to this next clip by Hallow Creek. This was another one that we filmed during our day-long tour around Gettysburg, out in the open, fresh air. This is Hallow Creek. I feel sorry for you.
I don't need you to tell me wrong from right, and I damn sure don't need your advice. If I'm coming, might not be paradise, but when I get where I'm going, everything'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. Point your finger when I turn the other way. Well, you're not much of a man, what else can say? You're something not from what I see. Well, you know more than this man. Stay the hell away from me. I will not bow down. Do what you want me to. I will always stand around. Hey, I feel sorry for you. If I'm the one you're trying to get to, I won't do what you want me to. Hey, I feel sorry for you. Standing on your own, you can't wait that these two times way long. Couldn't handle this travel road. Even passing your style, can't see what you had shown. I will not bow down. Do what you want me to. I will always stand around. I feel sorry for you. I'm the one you're trying to get to. I won't do what you want me to. Hey, I feel sorry for you. Right.
Man, you know, when I picked that clip, I didn't realize that that it was gonna fit that perfect. If you listen to the words, I will not bow down. I will always stand my ground. Hey, man, that's Hallow Creek. What a couple of great guys, man. I love them to death. And they're going places, I think. All original music. Again, fantastic time. Let's. I spent a couple podcasts ago. Or a couple shows ago. I was talking about the Joe Rogan podcast and the conversation that I listened to with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it was a great podcast, and I listened to a new one over the weekend, and it's all over the airwaves. A lot of you might have seen the little, 1 minute or 40-second clip. That's right, I'm talking about Elon Musk. Yeah. Elon Musk smoked a joint, and I won't even say he smoked a joint. He took one damn hit off of a joint, and I watched it, people. I've smoked pot for a long time. He did not inhale it. He took like a little puff, and it all came out, not as inhaled smoke. It came out just like, if you suck smoke in your mouth and blow it out. Yeah, I don't think he inhaled it. He may have got a little buzz just from being in the room, because the room was a little cloudy. It was one of those real smoky joints, that smoked a place up in fine shape. So he may have got a little contact buzz, but the rigmarole over the fact that, oh my God, Elon Musk smoked a joint on the Joe Rogan podcast. How could he do that? If you watched the entire podcast, now I'll give you a warning, it's 3 hours long, but watch it. Because this is 1 minute, less than 1 minute, out of a 3-hour conversation with a brilliant man. A brilliant man. Here's what gets me even more. People at the very beginning of the podcast, he's talking about his company, The Boring Company, which is the company that's drilling the holes underneath Los Angeles. So apparently they've got a website, theboringcompany.com or whatever it is. On the website, they have a merchandise page that he says has one item at a time on the merchandise page. The first item they had was hats. They said they wanted to make $1 million on hats. So they made 50,000 hats, little baseball caps, and they said The Boring Company on them. And they sold the 50,000 hats, they made $1 million. So they were trying to figure out what the next item was going to be, and Elon Musk says he was a Spaceballs fan. And in the movie Spaceballs is a scene where somebody walks through a merchandising department and on the wall is a flamethrower. So Elon Musk designed a flamethrower and put that on his website and sold it. He admits it wasn't a good idea. He said he told everybody not to buy it. By the way, he made 20,000 of them at $500 a piece. They sold out in 4 days. $10 million in 4 days. Because the guy makes a flamethrower. And he said he had to put in the advertisement, this is not a flamethrower due to some kind of shipping restrictions that you can't ship flamethrowers. So he put in, this is not a flamethrower. They sold 20,000 of them in 4 days, $10 million. But people want to give him a hard time because he smoked a hit off a joint? Now, granted, he says it wasn't actually a flamethrower. I guess he says what it was a roofing torch that was housed in a air rifle stock. But still, you sell 20,000 of them to who the hell knows who on the internet, but you want to rip him for smoking a joint. Remember, this is the guy that figured out how to get rockets to land right back where they took off. And lots of other things. Another thing, nobody was screaming when he shot the Tesla into outer space. Everybody was, oh, that's so cool, what a brilliant mind. Maybe he'd been smoking pot that day. And at the very least, somebody should have nabbed him for littering. Littering the outer space. Yeah. Again, crazy shit that just takes up our time, you know? So we don't think about, you know, the real problems in the world, apparently. You know? Again, let's worry about who smokes a joint. I don't know. Again, just a plug for the Joe Rogan podcast. I think it's incredible. They're honest conversations. They're 3 hours long, and you really get to know a lot of stuff in the 3 hours that you can listen to those dudes talk. Let's go back over here, because my time is running down, and we're just about out of here for this week. Come on back next week, and we'll do something. Maybe something will happen that will really piss me off, and I'll have better rants for you. A lot of you people don't like it when I just talk all nice and flowery and stuff. So until next week, I'm Rick Blood. This is Unfiltered. Peace.